Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video is going to be something special. We have, thanks to Goblin King's game, a special reveal for you for the upcoming Kickstarter for Moonstone Miniatures Game's latest expansion. Now, if you do not know what Moonstone Miniature Game is, it is a fantastical, whimsical fantasy game with an essence of a card-based system within it. You effectively play cheat to cast magic spells within the game, and the idea is you are trying to gather up a bunch of Moonstone to take back before the sun rises. This is a really fantastic game. We have plenty of battle reports on the channel, including a Getting Started series as well. I'll link them down in the video's description, along with a link to somewhere you can sign up to get notified about the Kickstarter. This is a company that already exists, is doing really well, so hopefully this Kickstarter can get off the ground. It's just to fund their latest expansion, which will reveal to you some brand new pieces and some brand new information in this video for that we have exclusively thanks to Goblin King Games. And so, with that said, let's get cracking on. Let's not keep you waiting any longer. We're going to get cracking into what is the latest reveals for the Moonstone expansion into the Undead. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, what we have to reveal here is in fact the big baddie of the entire saga. This is the Echo of the Forgotten King, and we've got a few other things, some characters and things that combo around this character, and indeed his rules to reveal as well on this, as well as their rules as well. But we're going to talk a little bit about this character first, because he's really interesting. As I said, King Cheret, aka the Forgotten King, is the big baddie of this entire saga. He had a misguided release from the Deadlands by the Elric, and another reason everyone has been collecting Moonstones all these years, the Elric were buying them all up to do this very ritual, and he has opened the gates to the dead to return, and Cheret is summoning an entire faction to his side to attempt to once again subjugate the entire land of Torba beneath his terrifying grip. So this is a big baddie coming back. Obviously, this is why Moonstone has been being collected and everything for the entire game so far. It's been sold off to this sort of untowards cult that has now brought him back, and he's now trying to summon a legion of the undead to take over the world, essentially. Now, Cheret is stupidly powerful. He's able to send just part of his essence onto the battlefield to support his allies. The Echo is fearsome, but thankfully, in the rule-wise, it's potentially short-lived, though there are some really cool ways to play around with this. And so, he does have some cool rules, and we'll check them out right now. So here we have the Echo of the Forgotten King. Now, like I said, these are echoes of him. This isn't actually the Forgotten King himself. This is just one of his many sort of projections onto the battlefield. So it's not in essence him in himself, but it is still a really powerful avatar of him. Now, he has Spirit, Elric, and Noble. This is, a brand new faction with this Elric here. You can see the cool little symbol, the undead skull at the top. So this is a brand new faction here. Now, he has melee 4 and range 2-inch, which is pretty nice. 2-inch range is always wicked, and then Arcane 4 with Evade +2 as well. Now, fleeting. This model does not generate energy and may never gain or spend energy and may not take actions normally. Instead, it may suffer 2 wounds to make a jog action, melee action, or arcane action irrespective of its normal energy cost, a step action, reaction step, or go for it. If this character would be slain by the wounds, this action is not performed, and if this character would discard energy, it would instead suffer 2 wounds for every point of energy it would discard. This character may not enter play through Reanimate. So this is really interesting. To do everything, he has to suffer wounds, and as you can see down the bottom, he does have 14 wounds, so he's got a decent amount. This is, one of the highest wounds values in the game. Now, Unholy Strength is really fun. Increase all melee damage dealt by him by +3. Melee damage caused by this character counts as magical as well instead of the listed types. So this is really potent because this gets through a lot of the protection that some of the stronger characters in the game will have. I'm thinking Baron von Fancy Pants and stuff like that. The vicious little grub and all of that will have, no protection against his unholy strength. Now, he's then got Terror Blast, which target suffers X magical damage or X plus 1 magical damage if the target's not at full health. And the Catastrophe means he could potentially suffer a number of wounds equal to the number of wounds it has currently suffered. So some interesting things. Now it does have the signature move of Sweeping Cut. This is pretty cool. And what this does is upgrades the Torrent of Power. So, end step effect for this is this model suffers 2 wounds. All other models within the character's melee range suffer 2 magical damage. Then all other models with this character's melee range are moved 1 inch directly away. This is a super powerful ability on his Sweeping Cut. And you can see it, means it will always potentially deal some damage because it's going to push a lot of stuff around it. It's going to always do that 2 magical damage, which means it's almost always going to go through. I think he's going to be a really solid piece on the table, but of course he does have to spend wounds. But there is something interesting about what's coming into the game to help him not have to spend wounds, and we're going to talk about that next. And so enter this little critter. This is the Tea Cake of Torment. Now, the Tea Cake of Torment is what's called a psychopomp. Psychopomps are strange little spiritual beings that live in the Deadlands and tend to need of the dead, providing entertainment, aid, and solace. As the shades are pulled from the Deadlands, they bring psychopomps with them in a tide of magic. Now, psychopomps are interesting. They act in-game a little bit like Boris the Bunny's Summoner's Murder Bunnies, in that they are little small, weak characters who enter play through the abilities of other characters within the faction, and share the Summoner's energy pool and activations. The tea cake just happens to also be a delicious snack, and this allows him to potentially keep the echo of the Forgotten King on the tabletop, causing carnage for a couple of extra melt-in-your-mouth actions. So, really, really cool stuff here. Now, we're going to look at his rules as well. So I think this is really interesting. I mean, and this Tea Cake of Torment, this is exactly why I love Moonstone. I love these weird and wacky things they have. Baron Von Fancy Pants is one of my favorite. Grub, you have, of course, Butterfingers, and so many other cool characters. Peggy, love them, absolutely love them. And so here we have the Little Critter's rules. Now, of course, he is a psychopomp, not that great. He's got 2 wounds, 1 melee with 1 inch range, no arcane, and -1 evade. Now, the psychopomp here, this character can only enter play when he's summoned. It does not activate and can never gain energy. Instead, while the character who summons this character is active, this character can take actions, including jog by discarding the required energy on the friendly character who summoned this character. Reaction stems and go for it can't be taken in the same way, though. Now, Summoner's Light, if this character that summoned this model is slain or removed from play, then this character is immediately considered to be slain as well. And he's Feeble. You reduce all melee damage this character deals by -2, and harvest actions cost this model an additional point of energy. However, his big thing here is, of course, Eat Me. Target friendly character restores 2 wounds, then this model suffers 1 wound. So, really useful to have this on the table with your king, being able to heal him, and of course, can just do some really nice things with him. I think this is going to be a fun way to sort of combine the 2 characters. And there are some really cool summoners in here. I'm sure if you go looking for some of the other people who revealed stuff, you can go follow Moonstone on things like Twitter. They've been posting all their stuff, or Twitter, X, whatever it's called now. Whatever it'll be called in the next few days, whatever. They've been posting updates and all of that. They've also got a Facebook page and a Facebook group that's really fun as well to join. But I think he's, just everything I love about Moonstone, this guy. A really small, fun, stupid, I guess you could say, in a way, little character that just is amazing. And so, lastly, they did also send us this other character to show off as well. It's a really nice little bit of combination play along with the Forgotten King. Now, this character here is Igor the Servant. Igor joined Tretnit's household not long before the bother with the war. The death of Kernit's brothers and the death of the previous king, many servants left the household or had unfortunate accidents. But Igor stuck with it and slowly gained the notice of Chernit himself. Igor just wants to do a good job, but was looking forward to the release of death after centuries of extended life, something he's still longing for. So, he's a character that the Forgotten King just won't let have his eternal rest. He is still serving the household, but Really fun. Now, there's no sculpt for this guy just yet. They haven't finished rendering him, but this is still, really cool sort of sample art, and I do have his character card here to show as well. And so here we have Igor the Servant. Now he is a spirit. You've got melee 2, 1-inch range, arcane 3, and -1 on his evade. Strength from Beyond. This is an ability he just gets to use 1 per turn, where he can restore 1 wound. Now, if a friendly model was slain this turn, this character gains +1 arcane as well to the end of turn. Now, the Eternal Servitude rule means you can actually target human or noble, and they can restore some X wounds, or target risen or noble restores X wounds. Catastrophe, this character is immediately slain, though, if your chosen faction is going to be from the undead. You can place a new Echo of the Forgotten King in base contact before removing this model. It is considered a permanent addition character in your troop and may activate this turn. So some interesting things you can sort of have, if he manages to fall, you will have a Echo of the Forgotten King in base contact with and just bring one of them to the table. It should be noted as well, you can see he's got the double sign, meaning he can also be part of the Dominion, which is really cool. You can follow along with some of your stuff in that. But we then also have the Reanimate, where you can place a friendly slain model in base contact with this model, restore half its health, rounding up. It has no energy but may activate this turn. So this is pretty interesting. He can, bring back a bunch of friendlies for his 3 energy. I think this is really interesting because this can mean you can keep all the models that can summon stuff and all of that to the table to enable you to bring up the little dudes to the table as well, and make sure you've got things like your tea cake coming back up, which is really, really cool. So your tea cake of torment, the little psychopomp there, you can make sure you're getting those out, make sure you've Forgotten King. But also, this could be a way to start your Forgotten King off the table, potentially. There's lots of cool ways he can work around and really provide you. So if you do, have a Forgotten King that goes down, you can place a new one in base contact before removing him. Really, really fun. He's definitely going to provide a lot on the table, and he does have, Save Me My Liege, an upgrade for High Guard. Move this model 4-inch directly towards a friendly noble, and effectively it does no damage if he's got this. Pretty cool stuff. But that is everything we have to reveal today for Moonstone miniature game. Like I said, we're going to leave some links down there so you can go keep up to date with everything that's happening with the Kickstarter for their latest expansion. I absolutely love this game. I can't say enough nice things about it. Goblin King Games have been fantastic to deal with as a company. I've always had nothing but good things to deal with them. They're fantastic at supporting the channel, and they make really fantastic minis and a great game. Moonstone, definitely not maybe the most competitive game in the world, but I think this is the perfect example of a fantastic fun game that definitely has some really good tactical depth to it, though, should be said. Like, there is some really interesting thing in how you sort of build a force. The fact there's no point to just pick an amount of fighters and sort of have to play the wombo combo game of getting all these little combos to work off together. But with that said, let us know what you thought. Let us know what you want to see from this brand new range of the undead coming to Moonstone. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and also drop a comment down below letting us know what you thought about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Cinderful Gaming, we have a Discord server linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. You can use one of our affiliate links to Gap Games or Element Games if you're in Australia or the United Kingdom, or you can subscribe to our YouTube members or Patreon, or grab some merch from our merch stores on Teespring or Ko-fi. All the best ways to help support the channel. As a special thanks to all our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our patrons: Broken Chef, Andy C, Grimscold, Colorblind Magic, Benjamin Swallows, James Cater, Mark Harvey, Domir, Average Wargamer, JJ Austrian, Cure Dynamic, Andrew Bowen, Outer and Shot First, Kenny Lowell and Soren. And to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, John Castle and Gargamel196. Thank you all once again for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.